What's up, everyone? It's Ohan. It's Friday, and this week we're talking about hate within the trans community. Hate within the trans community is actually pretty common, and it was one of the reasons I was really afraid, I guess, of joining the YouTube community and speaking what I wanted to speak about, because I thought that no matter what you say or how you say it, somebody's not going to be happy, and my theory has proven itself to be true. But I try to remind myself that for every dislike or mean, offensive, out of line comment, there's also somebody who said something positive, and usually the ratio is way more positive reactions than negative reactions, so it does help to put that in perspective mathematically. I really do think so much about what I say because I'm like terrified of backlash or something, especially on a platform like FTM Transtastic, and so I do think that maybe I don't speak enough of my mind from time to time, but you know, it's something that I try to use my best judgment about. I like what Triton was saying in his video, which is like, because being trans is only one part of who we are, and then everything else, like basically everything else about us, our backgrounds, our class, our race, our interests, our socioeconomic status, like all these things inform how we make decisions and how we feel about the world, and so those things are going to cause differences in how one community thinks. And that was my whole theory about like LGBT groups, or in schools and in colleges and stuff. They're like, oh, just like get a bunch of gay kids in a room and then everyone will be friends, and it's just like, no, that's not how it works. Like, that's just one part of who I am, and it's not going to inform all my other opinions and thoughts about the world. But I also think hate in the trans community is like an extension of jealousy. And I admit that it is also something I struggle with. Like, I might be jealous of how somebody's surgery results turned out, or I might be jealous of a certain option in somebody's transition that wasn't available to me, or sometimes I hear people who are like, I'm 14 and I'm 2 months on T, and I'm just like, speechless, basically. But it doesn't make me want to go on to their Instagram or YouTube and start writing hateful messages. I would say it's much more of an internal struggle. How do you get from the step of just being like, yeah, I'm jealous, to like, yeah, I'm gonna like write shit on this person's video? Why? To me, that wouldn't make me feel better. Even if it did make me feel better, like, I still think it's inappropriate, so I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I will say that it's something I struggle with. I'm extremely sensitive, so like, if I make a video about fucking nothing even to do with being trans, I make a video about dogs and I get a dislike, I'm just like, what did I say that was wrong? Like, what did I offend somebody? And I really overthink it. I tend to, but it is, something I just have to remind myself that it's going to exist. It's going to exist because we're people and people disagree with one another, and that's a thing that happens, and it's certainly a thing that happens when you put yourself out there. And so I feel like that's the negative side of putting yourself out there, is that you might get a bunch of undeserved hate and mistreatment and things that really hit the wrong buttons. Is that an expression? But at the same time, what I get out of being on YouTube is far greater than somebody saying like, whatever, I won't repeat it because it's inappropriate. So yeah, one thing I was actually shocked when I posted my initial top surgery reveal, and I had such kind of bizarre results that were very uncommon, and I thought there was going to be way more hate than there was, so that was actually a pleasant experience. And there really wasn't any hate. I mean, there were some people who had opinions about it, but they were expressed in an effective adult way. It was never like, you look like shit. Like, I just don't understand why people do that. And I guess, cyberbullying is just an extension of in real life bullying, where it's like people say mean shit because it's some kind of reaction or response to how they've been treated or to how they feel about themselves. And that's horrible, and that sucks. I urge people to really consider what they say. People posting about their transition is such an invaluable resource to so many people, and really think about the effect that your statement is going to have on that person. Like, just because you have this distance, it does not mean that these things are okay to say. I have to like take a step back and be like, why am I doing this? And it's a few reasons, but it's like, one, because I think I'm in my head so much, and it helps me to try to talk about things that I feel like other people are probably ruminating about as well. And the other thing too is just, you know, it's really nice when I get positive comments that are like, oh, I noticed such a shift in your confidence, or I noticed these things, and it's like really nice to be a part of this community. And so that, no doubt, is going to outweigh somebody who says something really shitty and inappropriate. And it's so much easier to get hung up on the bad stuff than to appreciate all the good stuff. And so, if anything, making this video is just a reminder of like all the nice things that people have said, and kind of putting those horrible words and sentences, just, you know, put it to the side, and not give it too much of my mental energy, because there's really not that much to go around these days. So on that note, I'm gonna go, but thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.